Hello and welcome to Tales from Beyond the Sofa.
Why does that crack you up every time I say that?
My name is Tom, and with me is my wife and co-host Dee.
Hiya!
And
Happy Friday!
yes, indeed. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we are recording this on a Friday.
So,
How's it going?
yeah, not bad. Not bad. We're back.
We are
back. We managed to stick to our schedule two weeks in a row. That's pretty good, eh?
For us.
Yeah. Let's see how we get on with the next one.
Yes.
And then we've all been a bit unwell.
Yeah, it's that time of year though. Kids go back to school, and as soon as they go back to school, that's it. That's it.
I've been trying to outrun this. But I couldn't yesterday.
No.
I got sent home. But anyways, let's not talk about
being
being old.
Just being old. Right, let's go back to our childhood at some point. Well, yeah, sort of. You would have been about a year old at the time.
Yeah, no, I was. Rub it in. But we've got, so this week, I think it's this week or next week. I didn't check the exact dates.
No,
we
I
just
haven't.
scheduled this to coincide with it. But we've got the new Terminator movie coming out, Dark Fate, which is kind of like a soft reboot.
It's what they're saying.
Reboot / reset.
Yes.
There's a spate of movies coming out, like franchise movies, like legacy franchise movies that are releasing sequels that sort of do away with a lot of the previous movies.
Yeah.
Like they kind of reset, like Halloween did it. Like suddenly I think only the Halloween and Halloween 2 count now, and everything else didn't happen, and now we've got this new.
The rest of it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're doing with this. It's like Terminator 2.
And this is supposed to be the third of the original trilogy,
Yeah, this is
the third of the original sequel.
exactly. So it's number 3. It's number 3, 2. But really, just number 3.
Yeah.
The other one didn't happen.
Yeah, the other ones didn't happen. Painfully so.
Yeah. So, and we thought, just as a bit of a laugh, we'd watch Genisys.
Which neither of us had seen.
Yeah. And upon watching it, I realise why now they're like, fuck it, let's just reset it all. Let's reset it all.
Yeah. Exactly. I can completely understand why whoever owns that franchise right now.
Yeah, at the moment.
Right? There's such a long history with that. It's incredible.
I know. That's why like every sequel has been so drastically different.
Yeah.
There's not. I mean, the first and the second one are very obviously James Cameron movies, but then from number 3 onwards, they're just very drastic. They all feel like they come from different franchises, but they've just borrowed some characters.
Yeah, and some canon from it all, and sort of, yeah.
I mean, I'll admit, I quite like Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
I quite like it.
Okay.
There's something about it I quite like. I don't like the sort of third act. I don't like how often Christian Bale says the name John Connor.
It's like he's trying to make sure you remember the name. Remember the
I
name.
am John Connor.
I am, yeah, so we don't forget him. Yes, you are.
I was waiting for a moment where he would like show his fists and he'd have like John Connor tattooed on his knuckles. But yeah, so we watched Terminator Genisys, and it was so utterly terrible that we decided to watch the first one as well, just to kind of as a palate cleanser.
Yeah, just to remind us of the good in Terminator.
Which has given us an opportunity to do kind of like the first versus the worst.
Yes, indeed.
So we watched Genisys first.
Yes.
And then watched the first one after.
Yes.
So Terminator Genisys, let's go through it quickly, just to...
If we must.
Alright. Everyone knows what the first Terminator's about. We don't really need to get into it, but let's have a quick dip into Genisys.
Okay.
How much of it do you remember? I mean, other than the first act, how much of the actual film do you remember?
I mean, if you talk to me about it, I'll go, yeah, I remember. I remember most of it. I'm not that.
I remember that.
I remember that.
I remember that. I remember John Connor.
I don't really want to remember John Connor though. He was
The
awful.
worst.
He was like the
He was
worst
the
rendition.
worst.
Yeah. And we were saying
And
about
we've had
Jai
how
Courtney,
many-
right?
Yeah, Jai Courtney. Oh, fuck,
I didn't
that's
even
Jai
know
Courtney.
that was Jai Courtney.
He's one of those guys, right? It's
Yeah.
like we've seen him in so many things, but he is so forgettable.
Yeah.
It was only this evening when we were going through, like, we had to remind ourselves what actually happened in that film. We go, oh, wait. So Kyle Reece was Jai Courtney. So that's who Jai Courtney. I mean, he's in how many we've seen? He's in Suicide Squad, which
Yes.
obviously we've seen.
Yeah.
He's in that Tom Cruise, Jack Ryan movie.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the one. He's like, I'm gonna drink your blood out of a boot.
Oh, okay, yes.
And then eventually they just beat the shit out of each
See, but
other in
that's
the rain.
it. He, like you just said, he's just forgettable. I
Yeah.
have no kind of care.
I hear all these jokes about Jai Courtney, like, stop trying to make Jai Courtney happen. And I'm like, I don't know who this person is.
Yeah, that's the same. Snap.
He's just very blah.
Yeah. Look, all I'm saying right now is yeah. Like
Yeah.
I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, it's that kind of movie.
It is that kind of
Let's
movie.
just
and,
rag on it
like,
for 20
no.
minutes. Come on. No, come on. If we've got nothing else to say, let's just rag on it for 20 minutes.
Look, the beginning when we're seeing what actually happened
2029.
2029 and you're seeing what is actually going on in the actual war.
Yeah.
That was interesting to watch.
Yeah, because every other iteration of it has been very kind of like, it's been very small.
Yes.
You know, especially in the first one, and what we see of it in the second one, we only see it in a slight flashback.
Exactly.
Flashback. But the first one, we have all those flashbacks from Kyle Reese's perspective, and it's all very kind of very small, and you know, kind of cheap and 80s looking.
Yeah,
You know?
it was the 80s.
Yeah,
so,
it's all.
you've got to give the first one a blind.
And
sense of
it
all
was
that,
it was done on a very small budget.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Considering how much it made afterwards. So.
Which is weird because this one the Genesis was made on a freaking huge budget. So yeah, the stuff in 2029 that was interesting.
Was interesting to watch, and then then you get back, then you do the whole portal thing, you know.
But let's just talk about the 2029 stuff because that's like the first time in Terminator kind of ish from the movies that we know. Well, it's the first time we ever get to see the John Connor.
Yes.
You know, we've met different iterations of John Connor, like young John Connor and kind of green John Connor and stuff like that. But this is the first time we ever met the John Connor.
The hero that they've always spoke about in these movies.
The legend.
The legend of John. Yeah, this is true.
What did we think of this John Connor?
Do you know
all right. What do we think of this John Connor at this point in the film?
He's alright.
Yeah,
he's a freedom fighter. You kind of vouch for him, don't you?
And he has like a kind of like
he's got
there's a charm.
His shit, there's a charm. He's got you know, he's trying to rally the troops. He's trying to make sure.
He's so certain.
Yeah, he is.
Well,
he knows the future.
Yeah, he says, "I'm cheating. Yeah, I have a cheat. After this point, I don't know what's going to happen."
Yeah,
but so he's very certain. Yeah, so it's kind of made him.
It's like watching what's the Tom Cruise movie? Live, Die, Repeat.
Oh,
like
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. That's how it feels for him.
Yeah.
Like the kind of emotional impact this is all happening on him. He knows what's going to happen.
The thing is, though, the thing is, the flaw in showing him being that cocky about it, because he knows the future, is that it kind of invites the idea of what happens if he had gotten too cocky and gotten taken out before the whole sending him back in time thing and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would have happened?
That would have fucked it. It's like when Doctor Strange tells Tony Stark, if I tell you what's going to happen...
It won't happen. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
That's the thing, though. The Terminator timeline is, like, officially it is fucked.
But apparently, so during pre-production and before writing the story, the writers and everyone actually drew all the different timelines from the Terminator on the wall.
So it's accepted into law that there are just they've been doing this cycle over and over again,
and always going back to 1984. But then that just makes the Terminators really dumb.
No, well, they're stuck in a kind of causal loop, aren't they? It's a whole thing of like A leads to B, leads to C, leads to A.
Yes. So that's exactly
They've just
what's
basically
going on.
caught themselves in a time loop.
Yeah.
And they're just going to be doing this forever, no matter what. Mm-hmm. That's a brilliant kind of strategy for a franchise, right? It just means that they can just keep
going.
They can just literally keep
going.
Yeah, just keep doing the whole jump through time thing.
Yeah, because when they come to the future, it's actually present day, so it's 2017.
Yeah. Well, this was done. This film came out in 2015, and it's set in 2017.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah. But I think that was the problem with this film, though. It was this whole idea of like, they used the whole time jump thing as just a license to just keep
making the movies. Yeah.
And okay, I got this very sort of like, it felt, there were moments where it just felt like fan fiction.
Yeah.
You know, it felt very much like the guys in the writing room.
This is
they were just, this was like their childhood sort of like
dream,
playground chat, you know.
So when you have.
But what if they said it to that one? And what if they did it like that? Well, what if they tried to kill her when she was a kid? And then it just felt very much like that.
You kind of had to, if you're going to write a story like Terminator, you kind of have to keep it. You can't, especially with time travel, you have to keep it to a complete minimum. So maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, like at this point,
they could go back and kill her mum when
or
she
her
was
grandparents,
or whatever.
Yeah.
So something has to.
Or they could go back and find like the first Connor who came from Ireland to the United States and terminate him. You know.
It'd be a lot easier to find him.
Exactly. They just, you know, the Connors who were like escaping the potato famine or something. The O'Connors.
They just dropped the O.
Yeah, exactly, and they can go all the way back, just wipe out the entire bloodline. And then this Terminator has to like live out its days in like 17th century Ireland or something. There were moments I
like Pops. Yeah. I liked Arnie's character in this. He was cute and he had a heart and.
Yeah, I mean it's like that whole "Do androids dream of electric sheep" kind of thing. He was just like he started to like develop a soul.
So, yeah.
I mean, it can be argued the Terminator 2, the T-800 in Terminator 2, you know, with the thumb as he's going into the lava, you know, he had developed a soul. Yeah. But this Pops, he's very much.
He's very, like, you know, he's clearly a Terminator. And he's trying to fight this whatever he's feeling. He probably doesn't even know he is feeling.
Yeah, but well, it's like it's so matter of fact. You know?
Yeah, for him. What did we think of the?
Can I just ask though, before you put a pin in that question? What did Pops do for all those years?
Why
couldn't we have gotten a glimpse of like?
Right, so we definitely know he built the building that that Genisys is in. Because do you remember he mentions?
Yeah, he was a construction worker. He worked on Genisys's building when they're building the HQ. Yeah, I get that, but like,
I mean, that would have taken 20 years.
What was the day in the life of Pops? You know, like, what did he do on his days off? You know, what did his neighbours think of him?
Yeah.
I would love to have just seen like just a little vignette of the years that he had to wait.
Oh, but yeah, he for me was the best character.
He was the highlight.
Yeah. And he acted.
Yeah.
He really, he actually acted. I mean,
Arnie's been playing this character for so long now, and he's been acting for so long now. He's a very different actor than he was when he did The Terminator. Yes. We'll talk about that later, but now he's like, he understands, like, he always when the camera's rolling, you always have to be in character, not just at certain moments.
So in this whole movie, they literally just go back to 1984, and they're kind of basically doing the same steps that the original movie did. But something different happens.
Yeah, there's a T-1000 instead of it being the cop. You know, he's like, "What year is it? Yeah. What year is it? You know, what's the date?
What's the date?" Yeah.
And now it's the Japanese cop, and it turns out he's a T-1000.
Yeah.
I will say that the 1984 section of Genisys.
Yes.
There was a bit I noticed, like there's a car chase.
Yeah.
And it has a 1980s aesthetic, you know, it's very simple, just going down an alleyway, just firing a machine gun, just do this long take, you know, it just felt very 1980s, and then it cuts to like 2017, and the action is suddenly like, it's 2017 action, and I appreciated that, the way they created that distinction. They didn't throw in like 2014, whenever this movie was made, action into a 1984 setting.
No. Yeah, that's right.
There were no flipping cars or like, you know, shooing or anything like that. It was all just very simple shots.
I suppose
so that was like its one redeeming feature.
You're just nostalgic about the Terminator from the 80s.
Well, no, it's just that I think it was more the attention to detail. It's almost like they were trying to recreate the 1984 movie, just doing a kind of what if spin on it.
Yeah. So what do we think of the CG from 1984? You know, because that bit at the beginning of Terminator, in the didn't they do when you got the three kids on top of it?
Oh yeah, where the Model 101.
Yes, Model 101 comes, and it's obviously CG'd Arnie, mocapped Arnie, I think it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
fine.
It was just fine. You know, it's like, it's not the worst I've seen.
No.
But it wasn't seamless. But it wasn't so jarring that it felt like he didn't have bobblehead syndrome.
He didn't.
And
He didn't.
You know, his face just kind of trails behind him. Yeah. It was fine. I think they kept it to a minimum, didn't they? It's almost like they just didn't want to push it too hard, so that scene was over pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was.
I like the fact that by this point they've got like strategies to deal with T-1000s, like the whole thing with the acid and stuff like that. The thing is, this movie opens the door to this kind of storyline of there have just been Terminators just raining down on this timeline.
Well, you have to.
There's because she was attacked by T-1000s when she was a kid, and then Pop saved her, and they are so like experienced taking down T-1000s, which makes me wonder like what the hell's been going on in this timeline. It's just been Terminator after for like 20 odd years. And that's a story. It's weird. Like the backstory of this film is a much more interesting story.
Much more definitely. I have to admit that.
This film just sucked.
You're right. You know what? There's so much more to learn from the subtext and what's behind everything than there is to actually when you watch this movie. And you know that Sarah herself is now a badass.
Yeah, she is John Connor.
She is John. Yeah, exactly. She is.
She's more Kyle Reece. Yeah. Who Kyle Reece is when in the first movie. That she's more of that. She's a survivor.
Yeah.
But.
And do you know what? I didn't realise it, but throughout the whole movie there are Terminator tropes. You've got the...
come with me if you want to live. Well, that's in every Terminator movie.
Definitely. You've got the Terminator coming out of the fire.
Yep. That's definitely a motif. Yeah. It's in every film, isn't it?
That is. Every single film.
It's like
the voice, the Terminator taking over a voice.
Yes. Yeah, and dogs.
And dogs.
Dogs doing their thing. Dogs just dogging around Terminators, being all like, "Oh, he's a Terminator." Well,
and this movie feels every single.
It has. It's like it had a checklist.
Yeah, exactly.
Even that bit where he's like, "Okay, I need you to memorize this message." It's like, oh, cool. Yeah. Because there's a bit in the motel in the first film. He's like, he made me memorize it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing, right? In Terminator. Right, there's that bit where you see Kyle Reece and he's just settling down for the night. He's been at battle all day, and suddenly those Terminators turn up and just mow down everyone.
Yes.
And he's got that photo of Sarah Connor, and it burns.
Yes.
But then in Genisys, he's still carrying it around until the moment he goes through the time thingy, the time bubble. So, it's like they were so eager to tick off these little Easter eggs that they forgot the internal continuity of the story itself.
I mean, look, Kyle Reece survives. I had this I spoke about this to you earlier. Kyle Reece survives at the end of the movie, but in the original,
John Connor dies.
But
that was it. It was because if you remember at the end of the first one, Kyle Reece dies, but John Connor is now living inside his mother. But this time,
Oh, okay.
John Connor's
Right.
dead, but Kyle Reece survives. That whole John Connor twist, though, right?
Oh.
That would have been kind of an interesting moment in the film had it not been ruined in the trailer.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly why
it.
we didn't see it at the cinema. Because they showed that bit in the trailer. We were just like, oh, fuck it. There's no point actually finding...
We knew straight away. You're right. Yeah, I remember that.
We would literally say, like, there's no point trying to find a babysitter to watch this movie now.
I'm kind of glad we didn't, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't spend...
But
much.
I think it would have redeemed the film slightly had we not already seen it in the trailer.
Yeah, maybe.
It would have made just for a moment that film would have been interesting. Just for like 2 minutes, that movie would have been a hell of a lot more interesting than it actually was had we not known that twist.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Just that scene in the garage,
yeah.
where suddenly Pops turns up and the first thing he does is shoot John Connor, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
We would have been like, what the fuck at that moment, like.
Yeah, but because we knew.
Yeah, because we saw it in the trailer. As soon as he shows up, you're like, nah, bad guy.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
No, yeah, we knew. We knew.
And the thing is, it gives a different take on his character all of a sudden, because he just seems like a creep all of a sudden. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge switch.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised that Reece didn't recognise the switch straight away.
Yeah, because considering
it was very different. From
he'd only seen him a few days ago.
Yeah, exactly that.
And now this is a very different man.
Yeah.
Because the thing is as well, his character is very different all of a sudden. He's like smarmy and
that's not the John Connor we met at the beginning of the movie. Now, if they kept it as... And you're right, look, they spoiled it. So I guess... To us, I guess as the director, they didn't really care because it was really I don't know.
It just feels like at that moment when they were writing the script, when they reintroduced John Connor in the story when they were writing, it's like suddenly they forgot how they were writing him previously, and suddenly
they just made him the bad guy.
Well, they just wrote him like a bad guy from the start. You know, like when you're watching a movie and you're not sure, you know. When they're introducing all the characters, every now and then, they'll introduce the character and you're like, yeah, that's totally the bad guy.
Yeah.
And it's just because they write them like a bad guy rather than just writing them like a character who turns out to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And that's John Connor was written like a bad guy as soon as, you know, there was no second guessing.
I mean, you knew straight away. Let me ask you, Emilia Clarke, what did you think of her as Sarah?
Fine. She has a passing resemblance. She looks like a good cosplay of Sarah Connor. She doesn't, you know. I mean, but the thing is, I mean, what's the other option? Just try and like de-age actual Linda Hamilton. You know, it just wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
You know, that's a very expensive process.
Oh yes.
So I mean, it's fine. You know, I mean, I think she makes a much better Sarah Connor, like Linda Hamilton, than Jai Courtney makes as a Michael Bain. Kyle Reece. There was like one shot in the whole of the Terminator where I was like, oh yeah, I can see why they cast Jai Courtney now. And I'll tell you what, it was when Kyle Reece was dead. You know, when he's lying dead. Like, suddenly I was like, oh yeah, there's Jai Courtney. Because after learning that was Jai Courtney, I was like, okay, I got to memorize this guy's face.
Yeah, Jai Courtney was Kyle Reece, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, you keep asking me that. Yeah,
I have to keep checking.
I think that's the fourth time you've asked me this evening alone.
I know. This is it. See, I can't... it just doesn't gel with me. I just don't
if it's any consolation, I cannot remember the name of the actor who played John Connor.
Something Bay?
No, it's Clark. Something Clark.
Oh, something...
No, I'm talking about Genisys.
Is it John Clark? Emilia Clarke and John Clark, I think his name is.
No relation, though.
No relation, apparently. Jason Clarke, there we go. That's his name.
J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
That's it.
J.K. Simmons, that's it. He's just great in everything.
This is just your daily reminder that J.K. Simmons exists.
Do you know what? I completely forgot he was in... This is
so underused. So underused.
Oh, God, yeah.
And such a weird character.
Yeah, but he would have been such a great character in it. I think it would have added something else.
I think you're right to the But I think it was like they had an idea for this interesting character, but then had no idea to use
they didn't know where to
so
roll
he
with
just
it.
seemed to just follow the story around.
Yeah.
You know, wherever the story happened, he kind of came in about 10 minutes later and like, oh yeah, the story happens. What's that? There's a line in the film where he's like, "Goddamn cyborg killers" or something. It's like the best line in the whole film. I can't remember it anymore.
But apparently he ad-libbed everything, at least most of it.
I can get that. That's probably why it feels like the best written stuff in the whole film.
Right, can we get on with the nice? Not nice, but the actual movie.
No, well, there's still more to say.
Right, what do you want to say? I just want
to be done with it.
Alright, so go on.
So it turns out Skynet is now basically.
Oh, they're
Google.
now called they're Google.
They're called Genisys now. It's like kind of Google, Apple. It's like all the kind of mega corporations. Because it's everything now. It's not just an operating system for like your phone, like PC, Mac. It's literally for everything.
Connects everything together.
Yeah. Which I guess is where like Amazon and Google are heading anyway with like all their little devices. But it's just felt kind of like I imagine in 2014 or 15, whenever this film came out, that was very kind of like, whoa. But now when you watch it now, it's like, yeah, so what? We've got that shit. Nothing happened, you know. It's all very kind of paranoid.
Yeah, well, it's like the Millennium Bug.
Yeah, Y2K.
Y2K, that's it.
I remember when like even up to like literally an hour before midnight,
everybody was
every now and then
waiting.
people would just be like, Do you think it's? I think by that point most people were too drunk to care.
Yeah.
But yeah, then the next day everyone was like,
"Oh, we're still here.
The planes didn't fall out of the sky." You know?
And it's still 8 o'clock.
Yeah. And you know it's not maximum overdrive. You know, my lawnmower's not going to try and kill me.
But there is a fear of technology even now. I mean, the people have feared technology for so long, and they.
Yeah, but we have this weird kind of relationship with technology. You know, it's like, social media is terrible. I'm going to tweet that. You know, I'm going to tweet how much I hate social media. But you know, Facebook and Google and everything. If they want to be Skynet, fine, fuck it.
But there is that whole.
By this point.
There is that whole scientific theory where there's going to be like this computer.
Wait, what
like
was it
singularity.
Called? That's the word, singularity. I kept going continuity, continuum. And I was like, no, that's not it.
You know, it is kind of heading to. There's a theory it's heading towards that, and supercomputers.
They just did quantum computing recently. There was this whole thing at Google. They did like some sort of quantum thing, but it's the.
People will use that.
Are you saying that there is going to be a rise of the machines?
Who knows? I probably won't be here to face it. So
I think if there is going to be a rise of the machines, it's so what? It's no worse than any other fate we're headed to right now. You know what?
Yes,
the world's on fire and everybody hates each other and everyone's trying to. Every nuclear power is swinging its dick around the room, and so I mean,
got fascists in power.
Exactly. You know, by this point, it's just like roll the dice and let's see where we end up. You know,
you seriously can't get any worse.
You know, I mean, fuck it. If there is a rise of the machines, it's like at least that's the cooler option. You know, at least that's the kind of like your last thought before you die is like, wow. That's a fucking cyborg. Not like, oh shit, here comes a mushroom cloud. You know. Well, I just brought it down, didn't I?
Yeah, okay, fine.
So, The Terminator.
The Terminator. Great film.
I'm going to keep going back to Genisys because it's just so
it's
bad.
A comparison. We are trying to do a comparison.
What do we think about the finale? Like that big thing at the time? And I mean, it just felt so kind of like... Okay.
Yeah, but that proves your point from earlier that it is a time loop. They're just stuck.
Yeah, well, no, he throws John Connor into the time bubble thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, he upgrades himself into a T-1000 body first, which is kind of cool, I guess, you know?
Yeah, he gets stabbed by Genisys, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then throws himself in the T-1000 bath, I guess. And just...
Oh, yes!
Yeah.
Yes.
Pops, he's now a T-1000.
Yes, I remember, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went off point a minute ago. I was thinking about something completely different.
Okay, tell me what you were thinking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the beginning when... Before he goes into the before John Connor goes into the portal, and he gets stabbed by Genisys.
Oh yeah.
To become the bad Terminator.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought you were talking about. But that's cool. Yeah. It's nice to see Arnie get an upgrade.
Yeah. I did. Do
you
feel like yeah? What? But I don't know. There was that whole scene in the shopping center, right? In the mall. Did it feel like they were trying to like recreate it beat for beat rather than just play the scene out?
Yes.
Like he did. He just like it's like no, just right. Make sure you get that one.
No, but isn't there that theory when it comes to time travel that you kind of, if you're going back to what you were doing, that you kind of take the same.
You're in the same mode.
You're in the same mode, the same
process.
steps that you would do initially, but with just one slight difference.
It's almost like drawing a line.
Yeah.
And then drawing a line again. They'll never be exactly the same.
Yeah.
But they follow the same path.
So the difference in this kind of reality is the fact that Sarah knows.
Or the fact that a T-1000 is currently trying to kill him.
Yes.
I thought J.K. Simmons was the homeless dude. Like, years later, I thought J.K. Simmons...
No, he was a cop, wasn't he?
I know, but when he was first introduced, I was like... is that J.K.? Is that the homeless dude?
The homeless dude did done well.
But then it was when they introduced those cops in the mall. The one with the ginger one with the moustache. I was like, why do they keep like on his face?
Yeah.
You know, and what is it about his face? There's something odd about his face. It was like there was something about his face that was like I feel like I'm supposed to recognize this guy but not know who it is. You know. See, that's the problem with that movie. It's got like...
So much fan service.
Yeah.
It doesn't really take it... Look, you can take the path of one story, but you've got to be able to tell your own, and they kind of fail at that.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like anything is woven in. It feels like everything is just kind of chucked in.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, there's this bit, now we're going to go...
We're going to have a bit where they kill a T-1000 using acid, and we're going to have that cop be that guy. And we're going to do this.
And then we're going to... Yeah. It's like...
But nothing seems to like gel.
No.
It's none of it kind of works cohesively. Whereas the original, everything just felt...
It felt...
organic.
Natural, I was going to say.
Everything just felt like everything felt like it was happening for a reason.
Yes. Rather than it happening because it had.
Yeah, or it was happening... Well, the film just felt like it was happening because it had to happen.
Yeah.
You know? Everything in the film felt like it had to happen that way, and everything about this film felt like it had to happen that way, and the film itself felt like it had to happen that way, you know? It's just... Nothing felt organic.
No.
Nothing felt like it came as a process of the like it came as a result of the writing process. Everything just felt like they had like a bunch of stuff and they just had to figure out where to put it in and
the characters didn't feel like they were making decisions.
And the character,
they weren't really making.
They were just like, everything just felt like it was on rails.
Yeah.
It was just on a track. I guess that kind of says something about what Sarah Connor says. It's like, you know, she doesn't feel like anything is a choice.
Yeah,
And I guess that was the problem with the movie. It didn't feel like anything was a choice. Yeah. Nobody was making a choice.
Except for Genisys, who put John Connor into the future.
But there were no surprises in this movie. Even the whole thing about Matt Smith, like, being a bad guy. Like,
as soon as he was on screen.
You wanted him to be, like, you wanted to know he was there or whatever. Have him say something to someone earlier in the scene or something like that.
Make him look
don't wait till the
very
last moment and then show that shot, that close up of him looking, and then be like, make everyone gonna go, oh. Yeah, he may as well have gone, meh, or meh.
Yes,
like just start twiddling a moustache.
Yeah.
But you know, there was. All right, let's talk about the original.
Should we talk about something great? No.
Yeah.
Everything great.
Let's talk about Arnie's penis.
Dong.
Dong.
You know, it was bigger than I thought. It's got a really tiny tush though.
Do you know what though? That's the beauty of high definition. Because I've seen that movie on VHS a few times, and I never noticed his penis before. This time around, I just saw a very definite outline.
Yes, you definitely did.
It's a good penis.
It's a good penis.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're right. It's his bum.
He's got really
he's like two triangles.
With a circle in the middle, like this tiny.
Yeah, he's like two triangles in a circle.
The original Terminator just has so much, leaves you with so much to think about.
Mm.
You know,
everything has a...
With Genisys, I kind of watched it and completely forgot about it.
It's kind of brainless.
Yeah.
And it's forgettable, but the first one has like, I don't know, it's like, it's got that real kind of like...
There's urgency to it as well.
Yeah,
there is
absolutely.
Definitely, you know, there's something's happening. Someone's after Sarah Connor, or, you know...
And it's got this very real cinema kind of vibe to it, you know. And I'm not just talking about how the special effects and models or anything like that, because let's face it, the special effects are hokey. I'm talking about like the realness of it. You know, it's not. Yeah. There are just there are simple shots in that film that just remind me of like Scorsese. You know, these like long walking takes. You know, and this is like real stuff.
Yeah.
There's real acting. You know, Michael Ben or I can never say his name. Ben. They all sound the same to me. Ben. Anyways, but he's a real character. Kyle Reece is a real character. Yeah. You know, he has PTSD.
Oh my God, yes.
He's
traumatized.
He's a freaking soldier.
He's a soldier. He's got a mission, and that's...
As well as that, I feel like when he arrives in 1984, you know, he's not in a war zone anymore.
No, but
even though he's on a mission, he's not in a war zone anymore. So it's like his brain finally has a minute to process this life that he's lived. Yeah. So that's why now suddenly he's falling asleep in cars and having these nightmares.
Watching building work going on.
Yeah, he gets triggered watching construction work, watching a bulldozer because of the tracks. And everything like that. And
we kind of get a glimpse of where he's from.
Yeah, they actually thought, you know, James Cameron wrote this guy as a person, as a human, not as a bunch of tropes strung together.
Yes, but he wasn't your normal kind of hero. He's not out there to save the world. He's dead.
Well, he is out there to save the world.
But what I mean by that is that his soul, like we said, his sole mission is just to save Sarah Connor. I mean, they both Terminator and John do the same thing. Go find a phone book.
Yeah. Well, there was no Google.
Oh no, we didn't.
There was no Facebook.
No, we didn't even have 118.
Such simple times. I know. What if she wasn't listed?
Yes. What if she wasn't listed?
And you pointed out something, and I noticed this as well. 3 Sarah Connors in the entire LA. God. 3 Sarah Connors, and the thing is, right? There's a bit where the cops are like, Should we talk about this to the press? And like, no, we don't want to start a panic. I was like, what, a panic of one more Sarah Connor? You know?
Look, considering what I do for a living, the number of Sarah Connors there are in this world is extortionate. You would not find just 3 in a phone book. I'm sure I could find 3 on... You could
probably find 3 on just a street.
Yes. Exactly that.
Living in the same house.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yes. Probably could do, actually. That's one for the works. Next time on the Tales from Beyond the Sofa, did I find 3 Sarah Connors?
I'm gonna hold you to that. I do find with like a lot of movies in the 80s that like compared to today, I mean today's movies do make stupid mistakes as well.
Yes.
But the 80s, I feel like, well, movies up until like even before the 80s as well, there are times where people forget that they are supposed to be creating a reality here.
Yes.
So there's that scene where like Kyle Reece is a bit pissed off that he just confessed his love.
Oh
to
yeah.
them. And he's taking those glycerin bombs.
No,
and he's just
let
like,
me explain something. Wait. So just before he does that, he tells Sarah Connor to be careful with them.
Yeah.
Right. So he's showing her how to build them so that he can get on and make the fuses.
Yeah.
And he tells, be careful.
Yeah, he's like, no, be careful. Yo, make sure it's clean. And then he grabs them, and he's like all pissed off about telling her he loves her. And he starts like, just like shoving them into this bag, like really rough.
I mean, but speaking as a woman, that does not turn you on. It's
The risk of blowing everything up?
It's like, what?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll show her. I'll slam these bombs around. Fucking idiot, man.
I know, right?
You're a fucking soldier.
Yes. And that must go against everything.
Yeah, that's like a cardinal rule, man. Do not slam the explosives.
But yeah, or there's that scene which is what you pointed out.
Yeah, I had to rewind it. Arnie's little human moment where he gets out of the car, and it's like up until this point, and even after this point, he is in full Terminator mode. But this is why this scene was so like, it was such a kind of like so glaringly obvious to me. He gets out of the car and he's suddenly very human. Like he gives the bonnet a little tap as he walks around, like does that little like brush his hands along the bonnet, and then skips up to the sidewalk and then throws the guy from the telephone booth. It just felt like everyone on set forgot what movie they were making. Like he just
and then but straight after that, you see him get out.
Yeah, he gets out of Sarah Connor's house and just suddenly he's like in full Terminator mood. Sarah Connor.
Exactly.
This is the other thing as well. Like Terminators have in-depth records of human anatomy. It makes them better killers, right? There's that whole they say that over and over again in the series, right? But why would he need to empty his chamber into every Sarah Connor he kills?
I don't know.
Like one headshot, that's all it was.
Yeah, that's it.
One headshot.
Overkill.
Yeah.
It's definitely overkill.
He was aiming for the first Sarah's head. You see the laser right there. And then he fires, and then she goes down, and he starts just fucking...
Yeah, but you know, okay, so if you think about that in modern times, that could mean so many different things, you know?
What, like she's another Terminator?
No. Like beating on the enemy. Or during war to make sure somebody's dead.
He just shot her in the head with a very big bullet.
Yes, I know, but he's a Terminator.
But he should know as a Terminator. I mean, just a simple scan, but he does it every time. Like he wastes so many bullets in this movie. Right? There's that scene in the cop shop where he's like just blowing everyone up. Like that dude did not need 2 rounds from your shotgun.
No.
You know?
At close range.
Yeah.
At close range, yeah. I swear, yes.
Everyone just gets overkill.
And somehow, he doesn't know how to hit a car. Because every time Reece and Connor get away, he doesn't know how to shoot the wheels of a car, though, to stop the car moving.
Maybe in his mind, like that in the future... Like in 2029, they don't really use tyres anymore.
No.
So it doesn't occur to him. So yeah. So Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor is supposed to be 18.
Yeah. No, she's not.
Yes.
She doesn't feel 18 either. I meant like personality.
That's not what Kyle Reece said.
I mean, in terms of personality and everything else.
I mean, if she's 18, it makes sense that she fell in love with Kyle Reece after one day.
It was the 80s as well, I guess.
But, I mean, we may have only loved each other for a few hours, but in those few hours, we loved each other a lifetime's worth. Like, James Cameron's just trying to make this sound not skeevy. I don't know, it just feels like John Connor manipulated Kyle Reece. Watching the first movie and the worst movie, it just felt like John Connor picked up Kyle Reece and just manipulated him from the get-go.
You've got to remember, there would be no John Connor without Kyle Reece.
Yeah, I know, I get that. I get that, but if we... Okay.
So if they're stuck in that loop, he knows that. So he has to make sure that however they're stuck in the loop happens, otherwise he does not exist.
I don't think he believes he's stuck in a loop, but it does feel like...
As a viewer, we know they're stuck in a loop. So in terms of watching it, that's what I take from it.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, we're back.
Yay.
We had to take a baby break.
Yeah.
We had a little snack as well.
Have we quenched your salty craving?
Yes, that sounds dirty, but yes. And it's quite late as well.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to my notes now. You wanted to talk about the roommate, Ginger.
Yeah. She's brilliant in this.
She reminds me of Hi Fi from.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Ragdolls?
Yes.
No, what was it? The Ragdolls.
The
Ragdolls. Dolls like you and me. And she always has her headphones on, like even when she's having sex.
Yes.
She's got her headphones on. And then the phone rings, so he turns up her music.
The thing is, she said, okay, so they've done their thing, and now she's getting ready to make something to eat.
Yeah, she pulls out like every ingredient in the fridge.
A big bottle of milk.
That must have been good sex, though.
Yeah.
Like if you're hungry afterwards, that's good sex.
Yes. But the whole thing is that she's just got her headphones on constantly.
Yeah.
She's
It's
doing
like that's
her
her
makeup.
only character trait.
Yeah. There was nothing more to her. Headphones and sex.
Yeah.
And
a boyfriend who does the boyfriend does phone sex. I love this part that he repeats it verbatim when she goes.
Yeah.
Like he's rehearsed it. But yeah. And but the thing talking about the boyfriend, do you feel like when he was fighting the T-800, he gave the T-800 a little bit too much of a challenge?
T-800 should have been able to just
fling
him
snap,
across that.
done.
Yeah, that's it. Either that or just fling him across the room, which he did.
He flung him across the room a few times, but that boyfriend got up and tackled him and stuff. It's like, because it's the first in the franchise, it's like they were still figuring out the character and they're figuring out the physics, the reality of this world. But yeah, it's like, I just felt like this fight is going on for way too long. This should have been over like ages ago.
Yes. And then she drops all the food when she sees it.
And then she calls at the worst time
I
ever.
know. But that happened, either the best thing happens or the worst thing happens.
Yeah.
The coincidences, like when she's in the club and she bends down just as
she
the
knocks the bottle over and she goes to reach for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I've always loved that bit. I've always been like that. It's like a really cool little tense moment. Yeah. That was a set. Tech Noir was a club they built for the film. But real clubbers, they had to keep turning away real clubbers while they were filming because they thought it was a real club.
Oh, wow.
But Tech
Do you know
Noir,
now it's a calf?
Yeah. But Tech Noir is a term that James Cameron termed for this kind of movie where it's like a sci-fi film with like noir-esque, like Blade Runner.
Yeah.
The Matrix is a Tech Noir movie. No, one of the things I've always known about this film is that James Cameron came up with it during a fever dream.
Yes,
he was filming. I think it was Ticks 2. Have you ever seen Ticks?
No.
Ticks 2 is the worst. Okay, it's a story involving pot farmers are pumping steroids into their soil to make the weed grow faster.
Right. Okay.
And the ticks have been absorbing the steroids, and now ticks are like this big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was filming that, and he got like violently ill while he was filming, and he had like this fever dream about like this metal skull on fire, and that was like the chrysalis moment for Terminator.
Yeah, but isn't it? Didn't he get sued and everything else because of like it was based on something? Tell us something.
There was a guy who wrote these 2 episodes of Twilight Zone or The Outer Limits or something like that.
Yeah.
And he sued them. James Cameron maintains that the links
it was an original story.
Yeah, he maintains that the links are tenuous at best. But the studio didn't want to have to deal with it, so they just did an out of court settlement. but he's always kind of
He's
resented
adamant.
it.
He didn't want to pay that. But I mean, the rights to that has just moved from one hand to another to another to another. It's just gone round.
Yeah, because one
circles.
company, it seems like every company who owns the Terminator rights goes bankrupt.
Yeah. Yes.
It's the curse of the Terminator. Quick question. Is Kyle Reece John Connor's father?
Don't you know what? We had this discussion yesterday.
Yeah.
Because
she was seeing
someone
Yeah.
who,
and they clearly have a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
So for all we know, she was pregnant
At the time.
From the beginning of the movie.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the presumption is that he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he acts like he is. Even in Genisys, he calls him Dad, which is completely out of the blue.
It's weird.
It's like there's
weird.
No.
Yeah.
Just no.
But I mean, the thing is, she's assuming Kyle Reece is John Connor's father because Kyle Reece is the last man she had sex with. So, and she never says she's a virgin or anything like that. So she clearly has a sexual relationship with the guy with the Porsche who bailed on her.
So what if he's got a Porsche?
Yeah, I know, right? It's so 80s.
You know what they say about men with Porsches, right?
They can afford a Porsche. So I've got this little factoid that I thought was brilliant.
Go on.
It was on the IMDb facts trivia, right? It's not brilliant. It's kind of weird and sick and kind of so. O.J. Simpson was considered for the Terminator, but the producers feared he was too nice to be taken seriously as a cold-blooded killer.
There's irony for you.
In 1990, before Simpson's first trial, Dark Horse Comics printed issues using his likeness. So that's a thing that happened.
Oh God. Oh God, no.
So yeah, I just wanted to share that little factoid with you.
Oh. So Sarah Connor, right? So she starts off as this helpless woman or young
girl.
lady. Yeah, helpless
She's
girl.
a girl.
She's a girl. She's supposed to be 18. I don't think so. She's more 23 in my eyes.
Yeah.
But so she's helpless and she acts helpless and and everything else. But then she becomes badass. She has this moment right at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like everything just clicked into place.
Do you think it's fight or flight?
Yeah.
Do you think just fight or flight took over and the whole being around Kyle Reece
just kind of
switch something
on?
Yeah, because it's not like she becomes a different person.
No.
It's just she has a moment of survival instinct.
Yeah.
Her survival instinct kicks in.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Because you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in that situation, you would kind of just fight for your life.
Well, I think it's more that you've survived this much. Yeah, I think if that situation at the end was the first situation, she wouldn't have survived it.
No, not at all.
By this point, she's survived so much.
Yes.
That, why not push a little bit harder for this as well? Yeah, I mean, it's a very organic character arc.
Yes.
Because even halfway through her character arc, she's still pushing, she's still railing against it.
She doesn't believe it. I mean, when she after the club scene, and you see Reece with the psychologist, which I thought it was a brilliant. The psychologist is a brilliant character. He just makes me laugh.
He's in the first three, isn't he? He's in the second film. I remember him in the second film, and he's in the third film for a bit. I think it's more like a kind of Easter egg cameo. I can't remember. The third movie is terrible, but so I've only watched it.
Not as bad as Genisys.
Once.
The better or worse than Genisys?
It's about the same, but they're bad in different ways.
Oh, okay.
Terminator 3 is bad in very 2003 ways. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just bad in very 2003 ways. And Terminator Genisys is just bad in very 2014 ways.
Alright, fair enough. So they're movies of their time in that regard.
Yeah, I think they're going to be very dated. But that psychologist is he's a dick.
He is a dick.
I mean, he's the most insensitive prick.
Yes.
Ever.
I mean, the things they say,
I mean, why is he showing this video to Sarah Connor?
I don't know. That baffled me. He goes, why would you show that kind of evidence to somebody, especially somebody that's
at least show her like an edited version.
Yeah.
Where he's not screaming about this thing murdering her. Yeah.
It's like they've come out of the interview and just put it on for her, and that was it. Like, look,
check this out. Check what I just got.
Yeah, look what I got. This is what this loony says.
And he just revels in it. Those two cops are kind of odd characters as well.
Yeah. I think one was trying to be nice about it.
It's weird. They started on one was the nice guy and one was the cranky guy, and then suddenly they swapped places. Or the nice guy suddenly became a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah.
And the cranky guy became like a kind of... empathetic cranky guy. Suddenly it was just a really weird character change.
It was. And then they all just get shot up anyway.
Yeah. So. Yeah, they were just literally just being set up for, so we care about when they get murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Arnie uses so many bullets in that film.
Yeah.
For no reason.
So many rounds. He's just... blindly. The thing is, you'd think he'd have better aim.
Yes.
He's a Terminator.
I think we spoke about this earlier, didn't we?
But he's just shedding bullets like crazy. As a Terminator, he should be able to just one-shot everyone.
Yeah,
always go for the...
Yeah, that was it. That was the moment. Right, before he enters the police station, he looks around and scans everything and then gets into the vehicle or in a truck or whatever it was driving,
it's just
and
a car.
then rams straight into the police station. It's like he had this moment where it clicked in his brain. Earlier I was talking about, what was I talking about?
He had an epiphany.
Yeah, he had an epiphany. That was the moment I was referring to.
What was the epiphany? That I can just ram this place?
Yeah, he has logical thought.
It's a process.
Yeah, there's a process to it.
Yeah, okay.
But but most of the moments in there aren't exactly as logical as that.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean now. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that with a lot of films when you go back. It feels very much like everyone's still trying to figure it out even while they're filming it. Even the first Star Wars movie, there are certain moments where it feels like they're still figuring it out. The parsecs line in particular.
I mean, that's just stuck with Star Wars. Though.
Yeah, that's become its kind of it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That the thing everyone brings up, but they would really wish they wouldn't.
They wouldn't. Yeah, that's it.
So they have to keep trying to find new ways to explain it, or bump it, or they. But then James Cameron doesn't do the George Lucas thing where everything has to he has to explain away all his mistakes.
Yeah. Or try and fix them and make it worse.
The studio originally wanted Arnie for Kyle Reece.
Yes.
And James Cameron was adamant against it.
He didn't even want Arnie in the... First of all,
yeah,
he was going to go there and try and have a row with him.
Yeah, he was going to go and pick a fight with him. He was going to go and pick a fight with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Just that dude.
I know he's tall. I know he's like this... I know he's this tall Canadian dude, but probably played hockey. But seriously, he's gonna go pick a fight with Arnie. But by the end of it, he was convinced Arnie should play the Terminator, and they've been friends ever since.
Yeah, I love what he said to him though. Something along the lines of, "Are you free?" He goes, "No, you just gotta wait a couple of weeks for while I do this shitty film," which is what he was doing Conan too.
Oh really?
This is what I read.
Oh wow!
So I read that.
That's good. I like it. Arnie's got some self-awareness. I like it. I wonder how many of Arnie's films he's been like, yeah, it's a shit movie, but you know what?
It pays the bills.
It fuels the jet.
Looking back at his career, it's probably a few.
Yeah.
I would presume.
I'm trying to think of one glaring example. Eraser.
I haven't even seen that film.
It's a terrible movie. I imagine a lot of his stuff in the 90s.
There's a movie I popped into my head and that popped right back out. I can't remember what it is now. Oh, Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, that just came into my head. Kindergarten Cop. That had to be. But then, how old? Did he just become a father at that point? He was like, I got to make one for the kids. Jingle all the way.
Oh.
That's definitely one. That's definitely one.
But yeah, and about, he had like 14 lines in this whole movie.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kyle Reece doesn't speak from the beginning of the movie.
No.
And then when he does start talking, he doesn't stop.
Yeah.
He's just like the exposition bucket, and he just keeps tipping over.
Yeah. I mean, when
Car chase exposition.
Yeah. But okay, what would you do if you were in Sarah Connor's kind of situation and some guy comes up to you and says he's from the future, blah 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 blah, and I mean you would think he's a bit of
am
a
I
nut
me
job, right?
as Sarah Connor or am I actually Sarah Connor and
No,
I'm
you're
just
just
putting
you.
myself in her place? Okay, I'm me as Sarah Connor. I'll be like, fuck yeah, cyborgs from the future. Yeah, show me how to deal with this. This is like my dream come true. Finally, my
You'd be
birthday wish came
shitting
true.
yourself.
Yeah, I'd be shitting myself, but I'd be like, fuck yeah. I'd be like, oh my god. I'd be like, fine. I'm just saying I'd be like, fuck yeah, but as in like, yeah, okay, I believe you. Let's deal with this. No part of me would be like, no, I refuse to believe this. I'd be like, yeah, I'm on board. Let's do this. Which way do you want me to go?
It's happening.
I wouldn't be like, arm me up, let's do this. I'd be like, right, yeah, sure, let's get out of town, let's do this. Don't need to convince me.
Alright, so we like this film.
Yeah, I love this movie.
Love this
This movie's a classic. It doesn't hold up.
No.
I mean, it holds up as far as like storytelling goes, but as far as like special effects and
No,
acting.
but it was...
I mean, that scene at the beginning where
with
the helicopter
villagers,
comes in and it's moving in that janky toy kind of way.
Yeah.
It's like post-apocalyptic Thomas the Tank Engine. I was waiting for Ringo Starr to do a voiceover.
Oh, there's it. Do you know what? From this movie, I got the Terminator game.
Oh yeah, you were going to tell me about this. We were watching that bit where he's fixing his arm and his eye. Oh man, the prosthetic head.
Oh god.
Oh my god, the prosthetic head. It's so bad.
It is
bad.
I don't know what I think. I mean, it's funny now. No filmmaker would be forgiven for that, right?
Yeah.
Right. No filmmaker, but Cameron was forgiven for it. For
everyone was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. The thing is, everyone's like, that's amazing. It looks almost real. And we're like, oh my god, that's bad. He looks...
But do you think he got away with it because the story was so good?
Yeah, I think that's it though.
He told a solid story and none of that really mattered.
I think in 1984, people were probably were blown away by it.
Yeah.
They probably did see, the uncanny valley was there, but... They were just kind of amazed at the detail, It's like going to see a puppet show and just being amazed at detail. It's like watching The Dark Crystal. You can blatantly see their puppets, but you're just amazed at how much detail has gone into the puppet. I think we were much more forgiving of special effects back then because we knew that we couldn't get it to look real.
Yeah, it's so much of a staple now.
Yeah, but it was more like, how close to real can you get it? And that's what amazed people.
Yeah. And now like I just said, it's just a staple. We
crossed that line.
Yeah.
And now it's
now it's there, and so anybody makes a mistake, that's what people cling on to. It doesn't matter how good the film is.
All it takes is like a slight wobbly head. Like you watch Infinity War.
Yeah.
And there's that scene where Mark Ruffalo's got a slightly wobbly head in the Hulkbuster suit, and all the special effects throughout that movie are fantastic, and then there's that one moment and everyone's like, oh, that's bad. That's bad. And that's the thing you talk about.
Well, that's true.
But you watch, I mean, the hand, the Terminator
that
hand
was
is
awesome.
fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Because it's not supposed to look real. It's supposed to look like a robot hand. But then his head, it looks like, do you remember the show Spitting Image?
Yes, of course I do.
Yeah. It looked like a test for that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Because there's a bit where he's scanning her address book, and his eye is just like, It's just like wide open. And like looking down, it's like it's trying to stare through the book. It gets better though.
It does get better.
I mean, there's that scene at the end where has half his face blown off. And that makeup's really good. But yeah, you were saying like the game. This game that you suddenly thought of during that scene.
Yeah, but there's only one part of the game I actually remember, which is where it's like this puzzle bit, and you have to reform Terminator's face. And you know,
is it like the sliding tile?
Yeah,
that's bad. So his eyes like down there.
Yeah. I think you had to complete each level to be able to move. I can't remember.
So the whole game was literally just a sliding puzzle of his. Or was that
just
a mini game?
There's a mini game within itself. I think I don't remember none of the game.
So you can't remember if it was like a side scroll shoot 'em up.
I can't remember any of it.
Wow.
But I remember that.
Do you have anything else to say about the Terminator? Let me check my notes.
Okay, you check your notes. Dewey heck.
Let's have a look. All lines are busy. That was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, how?
Don't make me bust you up, man. The boyfriend, don't make me bust you up, man.
Have we done well?
Yeah, that's it. That's all my notes, man. I'll bust you up, man. Don't make me bust you up, man. Oh, and the what the hell at the beginning? The guy in the garbage truck.
Oh yeah.
This is looped over. What the hell? What the hell? And then like in 5 seconds, what the hell? Exactly the same loop. So I think that's all we have to say. Are we looking forward to Dark Fate? I think this looks pretty good.
Do you know what? I'm hoping it's really good.
Looks interesting.
It looks interesting, yes.
But then,
and if they're saying it's the true third
movie.
number 3, and with James Cameron on board, I think it'll be fine. I can't say.
Well, he's
good.
only producing it.
Yeah, but
it's directed by the guy who directed
But he's
Deadpool.
involved.
Yeah.
But he's involved, and I think that's the difference between all of the others.
Was he involved in any of the others?
No.
Probably just got a story credit or something.
Maybe, but no, he wasn't involved.
Okay. So yeah, I don't think we have anything else to say about that. Yeah.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next episode, we're doing
Brothers Bloom.
Yes.
Is it Brothers Bloom? Yes, it's Brothers Bloom.
Yeah. Ryan Johnson's kind of. It's just so nobody's seen this movie, so I don't. It's probably not a good idea to do this one since nobody's seen it. Nobody I know has ever watched Brothers Bloom, and it's a fantastic movie. It's Ryan Johnson's follow up to I think he did this after Brick.
Brick's great.
Yeah, Brick's great. It's a good first movie. But Brothers Bloom is my favourite Ryan Johnson film, and he's got Knives Out coming out, so
yes,
for that.
Which I actually am looking really forward to.
Yeah.
I want to see Chris Evans in that kind of that look. It just looks. So
I haven't seen him do that character in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Away from
the
all the
arsehole character.
Yeah, away from all the superheroes.
Yeah, or the stoic character.
Yeah, it just looks like a really interesting.
He's playing Johnny Storm again, but this time he can swear.
Yeah.
He was good as Johnny Storm. Yeah, Johnny Storm was a shit character, but he was good with it. But yeah, so we're doing the Brothers Bloom.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
So yeah.
Right. So.
Social media.
I'm at.
This is what we call the call to action. It's where we ask you to connect with us and interact with us. And
come talk to us.
So first of all, if you enjoyed the show, subscribe, rate us,
like us, and if you want, you can
just recommend us. You can review. You can give us a review on whatever on iTunes and Spotify.
I think
you can rate us or whatever. Just help us grow. Whatever. You can catch us
on Twitter.
At the French-Patels.
Yep. Or I'm at Amara_secrets.
And you remembered it.
I did.
I wrote it up.
Yeah, I usually forget my own handle because it's just.
Yeah, and I'm at Frenchy Balls.
You are indeed.
Yeah. You can catch if you want to support us, help us grow. You can support us on Patreon. One of the first things we're launching as a tier is you can watch this entire podcast as a video.
Yep.
so you can see our environment. My twinkly lights and deepest stark white corner.
This will change. This will change.
Yeah. So that's one of our tiers. We'll always be evolving and changing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just, yeah. Thanks for
Thanks
listening.
for listening. And
So it's a goodbye from her.
and it's goodbye from him.